By the way, I'm also going to be the host for tonight's event, so I'm really looking forward for that as well.
Great.
Where are you from?
Berlin. It's my hometown.
Oh, you are?
Born and
Okay.
raised.
Awesome.
I thought you had a French name.
Actually, it's an old Irish dialect. I always thought for a long time that is like kind of
Oh.
a special thing. I'm not called Patrick, but then I like read a book and I was like, it's just like an old Irish dialect for it. Anyway, it's not about me. It's about you girls.
Let's make it about you.
No, it's not about me because I must say, like last week I was like in LA and the news were just all about Amy Schumer the whole time. Oh, she's on vacation. She's hanging out with all the top celebs and all of these kind of things.
That's how it always is in LA. You just aren't there usually.
No.
But
My point is what I really found very interesting. I just feel like this is kind of like the thing, like a Ricky Martin situation. Like when the end of the 90s, Ricky Martin came out and everybody in America was about, oh, Latin music, it's a hot thing. I was like, how come the Latin music is a hot thing now as Latins have been there the whole time?
yeah.
Coming to your movie, it just seems like all of a sudden I'm surprised that with all the women being there for the whole time, how come that this is like such a fuss that all of a sudden women are allowed to say whatever they feel and think? How come? What did I miss? I thought that actually there's the freedom of speech, and how is this a surprise to America having the two of you being so funny and just like having an opinion about things?
That's so nice. Well, what I would say is, a lot of people don't know this, but as women, all of our brains were cryogenically frozen. And then with global warming, they've just all kind of thawed. And so we're just now having opinions and thoughts and ideas. So
in
it
some
makes
ways, yeah.
sense.
And so in some ways, global warming, because of the thaw,
Yeah,
has...
it is helpful. I feel like there have always been really funny women. Like my favorite women growing up, my favorite comedians were women and my favorite actresses. So, but it does...
Goldie Hawn, Tina Fey.
Yeah, well, Tina and Goldie, a little bit of different generations, but Lucille Ball and Carol Burnett and Gilda Radner, and then the comedians. I loved Whoopi Goldberg, and then Margaret Cho and Sarah Silverman. So I just feel like there have always been these funny women, but it does feel like right now is a time where people want a little bit more honesty. They're sick of seeing like the perfect kind of popular girl in high school. Growing up, they want to see someone a little bit more like them, who's honest.
Mm. And how come that actually almost the entire cast of Saturday Night Live is like amongst the cast of that movie? Is there kind of a WhatsApp or Facebook group that you talking about? There's this movie with Amy who wants to be in it. Yeah, me.
Right. Well, I think technically there's 5 of us in it. Is that right?
I don't know. Are you including like Tim Meadows?
6?
But Pete and Leslie weren't on there when we did the movie yet, so.
Okay, so I was including Tim, but so now there's 6?
Okay. But yeah, so it was a Facebook group, and honestly, anybody who showed up to set, we were like, you're in, strap a mic on them.
Yeah, I don't know why there's...
SNL people.
Yeah, there are.
It's not because they're talented.
You know what was very interesting? What was interesting for me was that I got to work with SNL people who were on the show at a range of different times, and it was really fun to get to like see those people because even Bill, who I was on the show with for 3 years,
right.
when we started shooting this movie, I hadn't worked with him in like over a year, so it was really cool to get to work with those guys.
But also I thought it was very interesting just to see you like from a different point of view because most of the time I just saw you as Jacob, the bar mitzvah boy.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I was like, is that really the same actress? I mean, that must have been like kind of a relief being like in such a feature film and showing us like some other parts. I mean,
yeah,
like,
it was definitely,
character-wise.
yeah, you said it was like such a nice change, but to just kind of exercise all those muscles.
And so finally, as we don't have that much time, the rush over here.
I know.
Would you say that this is like a movie made only for women, or does it mean that I'm actually in touch with my female side because I was laughing my ass off, or is it really just like for the entertaining and most of the time people just read in too much into that movie?
I think it's a movie for everybody because I think like it's such an honest story. It's just a great story that has heart and it's hilarious, and I think everyone will get something out of it.
Yeah, men and women are enjoying it equally. There's something for everyone.
Yeah, I think there is something for everyone. I would say that.
But
for
I'm sure you're in touch with your feminine side, and we really
definitely
respect that.
Yeah, we respect that.
Thank you for that. And as I said, I'm looking forward to see you guys tonight at the
Yeah.
social movie night.
Great.
And we will have like Robert Hoffman, who's the channel is, and also we have like 2 co-hosts. And I'm most of the time really curious like how the female crowd, especially like the German female crowd, will react to that. So I'm really proud to be part of this entire experience. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right,
It's
we'll
cool to
see you
be part of
tonight.
it. Thanks so much. So
All
nice
right.
to
See
meet
you later.
you.
All right, guys. Of course, it's like it's a huge honor just to talk to you guys about this movie, Dating Queen, as it's called in Germany, Trainwreck in the US. The only thing that I was kind of missing was the review of the city guide Stefan. What did Stefan say so much about this movie?
I don't think Stefan saw the film. I think Stefan thought he was watching. I think he thought he was watching the Minions movie. And was really confused.
All right. No, but of course, I know you guys like from Saturday Night Live, and also like I know all your work that you did like previous to this one here. And now we are here talking about a movie that seems to be dedicated to women. Is it really so tough for women these days just to be funny on the level that Amy Schumer is, and how did it affected your level of work?
Well, I think it's just a question of opportunity. There's a lot of people who are great and should be making movies, and hopefully every time one of these movies does well, it's just a signal to the studios that they should be investing their time and money and giving people these movies to make. Because we certainly need more female directors and writers and producers, and Amy is brilliant, and there's other people who are brilliant and just waiting for their shot.
But how was it for you as a male director then coming in and saying like, yeah, I guess I will understand women, or did you just feel like, you know what, I'm just trying to make a funny movie here, that's it?
Well, I mean, I'm married, I have 2 daughters, my whole world is feminine. I've lost all masculinity at this point. So
I'm in the same boat.
He has 3 daughters, and so it's 2.
I have 3.
3. That's a lot.
I have 3 daughters.
Whoa.
Yeah, and I also grew up in a house with 2 sisters, and my grandmother lived next door, and my dad was always gone. So.
Well, it's the same for me. Men don't get old in my family. I grew up with my mom, my aunt, my grandma, and my cousin. So to me, it's like always kind of interesting because I always felt like I know how women are. Most of the time they feel like, oh, you're not really a charming guy. It's like, why should I be charming? I know that you just are a human being. So this time it's kind of
I'm very
tricky.
comfortable with, I have friends who are very uncomfortable just hanging with women, and I'm like, oh, it's fine. Because I had no choice.
But altogether, your character is quite an unusual type of man who's like, actually you would even think it's the guy who always wants like, I just want to have like fun, that's it. But you are like, listen, are we gonna have a relationship or not?
Yeah, I like that scene where he says, I like you, let's date, But I don't think I was ever that forward with women, but I'm much more of the sense of like, I'm much more like relationships, and I was never, I've been doing a lot of interviews and people are like, so you're like a guy, right? It's like, no, that's why they cast me in this. But I relate more to Aaron,
And altogether, this type of, when I came out of this movie, I was really glad that I had like a female friend with me to just have a different opinion about it, but also I felt like being old and being into like American culture, I was not so sure how this would also work over here in Germany. Do you realize when you like travel around the globe and like presenting this type of movie that there might be a different sense of humor than like, because when you're having all these sports references, I understand that most of the Germans might not even be into it and understand like even who is A-Rod or something like that,
Yeah, we're always aware that there's some of that, but we were hopeful that LeBron James is a star around the world, and there's a few references people might not get, but I think most people get it. And in terms of just people having a different sense of humor in different countries, it's something that we can't really adjust for because we don't even understand what it would be in another country. So we just try to be honest, and I feel like people relate to human behavior, and when people are being truthful, that people around the world relate to that.
Yeah, especially like LeBron. I'm a Jordan guy. That's like when you talk about basketball, it's like Jordan. Then it's like LeBron, who's a LeBron guy? And then I saw in the movie, and I was like, damn, that guy is good. So how easy was it, or difficult was it just to direct him? And also like for you, he's kind of a sport icon by now already, and you seem to be like, well, yeah, it's LeBron.
I'm not the biggest. That was a good impression of me. I'm not that big of a sports guy, so it was kind of easy to just kind of hang out. And also, I worked with him on Saturday Night Live, and knew how funny he was. And so he came in, and it was all about just kind of making him feel comfortable. And then he was so good, and it was kind of like he was making me feel comfortable because I was kind of going, "Geez, you're people train in improv to be, for years to get to where he just naturally is. So he's just a genius all around. It's not fair."
And the last one, you guys apparently cannot really leave Saturday Night Live behind because like half of the cast is in there, and also like you are gonna work with Fred Armisen in the future.
Yeah.
I mean, is that something that you're never gonna be able just to leave behind forever?
Well, it's the thing with the documentary now, the show you're talking about. We I did that, and this movie Skeleton Twins with Kristen, and I think it's a thing when you work with someone that intensely for 8 years, and it's you just get a shorthand with each other, and you love working with each other, and it's really easy working with someone, and so you just want to have that. Like with Fred and Seth Meyers, all those people, Vanessa Bayer, like you don't have to say much. You just kind of know everyone's gonna go, and so it's very comfortable and a lot of fun.
I got that. All right, so I gotta go. See you tonight. Is any one of you validating my parking ticket?
I am, probably.
That would be because.
Sam, you want to get that?
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
See you.
Mädchen, eure Mutter und ich lassen uns scheiden. Monogamie ist unrealistisch.
Monogamie ist unrealistisch.
Nochmal.
Monogamie ist unrealistisch.
Damals habe ich das Wort nicht verstanden. Aber heute weiß ich genau, was er damit gemeint hat.
Oh nein!
Ich bekomme keinen hoch. Betrunken geht's nicht so gut.
Zu groß! War der jemals in einer Frau drin? Wo ist sie beerdigt?
Oh, ich stehe auf Toms Sweater. Shoppt er neuerdings etwa online?
Du musst keine Angst vor der Ehe haben, nur weil du das Konzept nicht verstehst.
Du ziehst ihn so an, damit keine andere mit ihm Sex haben will? Das ist cool. Hey! Ich bin eine moderne Frau, die weiß, was sie will. Und Männer kommen und gehen. Sag versaute Sachen.
Ich kam aus dem Fitnessstudio.
Ja.
Ich war noch verschwitzt vom Squat-Workout.
Okay.
Ich hatte die kurze Hose an. In mein Schenkel hat's gepocht.
Du beschreibst dich gerade selbst.
Oh!
Bevor ihr mich verurteilt, ich versichere euch, mir geht's prima. Und hier arbeite ich bei Snuff, einem Männermagazin.
Amy, dein Pitch. Anal, koste doch ihren Saft. Richtig gut.
Danke sehr.
Niki, du wirst recherchieren, ob Knoblauch sich auf den Geschmack von Sperma auswirkt.
Oh, wie soll ich das bitte
Dankeschön.
herausfinden?
Ihr inspiriert mich. Ich habe einen Auftrag für dich. Du schreibst den Artikel über den Sportdoktor.
Ach du Scheiße!
Ich wollte nicht stören. Gucken wir nachher Downton Abbey?
LeBron, ich werde interviewt.
Ich muss die Folge heute sehen. Ich habe morgen früh Training, dann reden alle Jungs darüber. Und ich habe wieder keine Ahnung.
Groß.
Verfolgen Sie Sport?
Da stehe ich drauf.
Ihr Lieblingsteam ist?
Die Orlando Blooms.
Wollen wir was trinken gehen?
Ja. Was habe ich getan? Ich habe letzte Nacht bei dem Arzt
Du
übernachtet.
übernachtest doch nie dort.
Mein Freund wurde also intim. Ja. Das heißt Geschlechtsverkehr.
Oh mein Gott, er ruft an.
Wieso denn? Ihr hattet doch gerade erst Sex.
Hier ist Amy. Ganz bestimmt hast du dich nur verwählt.
Ich habe dich mit Absicht angerufen. Was hat sie gesagt?
Er wollte mich anrufen.
Du musst auflegen. Er ist ganz klar ein Psycho oder so.
Ich rufe an, weil ich die letzte Nacht super fand. Vielleicht könnten wir das ja bald mal wiederholen.
Ich werde die Polizei verständigen.